The phone rang at 2:03, and my name lit the screen. Same number, same photo, same slight blur. I answered because there are some things curiosity demands you do. A voice that was my voice, older by a day of bad sleep, said, "Listen carefully. Do not go into the kitchen. Do not call anyone else first. Do not look at the microwave clock. If you are looking, look away." I stood in the hallway with the bathroom fan humming and said, "Is this a joke?" He said, "It is a warning," and I begged him to explain. He spoke fast, like words could outrun something. "Do not open the refrigerator. Do not run the tap. Do not flip the kitchen light. If the stove clicks by itself, breathe and ignore it. If you hear me on the other side of the door, that is not me. Cover reflective things. Towels are fine. Do not count the rings you heard before answering. That was bait." I asked why the kitchen, why not the bedroom or the hall? "Because it is a stage," he said, "and your apartment is booked. Stay where you are, listen and repeat after me. Say, the hallway is safe," he instructed, and I echoed, "The hallway is safe." Say, "The kitchen is a place, not a person." Say, "I will not be its audience." My throat felt ridiculous and grateful at once. He made me promise not to watch the oven light, not to listen for the fridge compressor, not to calculate how long this would take. He told me to put my palm on the plaster, not the door, and to keep my eyes low. "If it knocks," he said, "pretend you are asleep. If it tries my name, pretend you forgot it." As if cued, a breath of cold pushed under the threshold, raising a strip of dust like a tide. The refrigerator thumped and went quiet, then changed its mind and purred again, too steady to be mechanical. Something tapped the sink, a single wet note without a drip to follow it. I kept my eyes on the scuffed part of the wall and tried not to imagine rearranged cabinets. The caller's breath crackled like he was in a closet. "You will hear me," he said. "It is not me. You will hear someone else you miss. It is not them." "Why me?" I asked. "Why tonight?" "Because you stayed awake," he said, "and because the kitchen caught your reflection wrong this afternoon and decided you were good inventory. Think of it as a hungry light behind plaster, using anything with edges to make a mouth. Keep breathing messy. Keep your weight on your heels. If the fridge pauses again, hum badly until it remembers itself. If the drawer within the drawer opens, do not look for it. There will be a third sound when you want silence. It will mean you did well." I wanted coffee, habit threaded through fear. I told him I was not moving. He told me that was exactly the point. The apartment listened. Somewhere beyond the door, metal clicked like teeth deciding whether to bite. My phone vibrated against my cheek. He was still there, listening to the same noises, breathing the same air. I thought of calling Lena, then remembered she was on a late shift and would drive over just to dare the door. Another tap from the sink, then a clatter from the knife drawer, then a whisper that was a shape more than a word, placed at the hinge like bait. A second tone clicked over the line, the sound you get when a caller tries to join a call that is already too crowded. "Do not answer," he said. "That will be the kitchen pretending to be a solution. Go to the breaker box in the hall. Flip only the kitchen by feel. Do not count switches, do not read labels, do not make a list in your head. Think of heat, think of noise, and let your hand know." I opened the panel and touched each switch's ridge until one felt colder, as if it were giving itself away. I flipped it. The apartment side. The humming in the kitchen pitched down to a lazy animal sound and then steadied into nothing. "Good," he said. "If it is quiet, it has to work harder." Someone knocked at the front door. Too polite, too evenly spaced. "Do not answer," he said. "That rhythm belongs to the same thing." A voice called through the wood. A woman asking if I smelled gas, if I could please open and check the stove. I said nothing and pressed my shoulders against plaster again, feeling the grain like braille that read, "Stay, stay, stay." I asked him who he was really. He said, "I am you by a handful of minutes that tried to matter. I stepped in earlier and I am calling from after that choice. I am not dead. I am not alive the way you mean. If you open the door, it does not eat you. It edits you. You will take my handset and your throat will sound like mine, and you will tell yourself not to go in for as long as the kitchen wants. If you hold, it has to pick another address and I get to walk back. The drawer within the drawer slid with a sigh, then stopped. A spoon pinged like a bell. That is the third sound, he said softly. Do not celebrate yet. The thing behind the door cleared a throat that did not need clearing and used my cadence. Hey, it called, come help. I dropped a glass. It softened. Please. It found our mother's way of making a single word into a blanket and tucked it around my knees. I pressed my forehead to paint and hummed the tune I knew. The phone clicked, popped, and a call tried to arrive. Another chirp nudged my ear, the polite bleep that asks if you'd like to swap callers. Don't, he said, because the kitchen is learning your grammar through the line. Put me on speaker and face the screen down. If it shows you a timer, it means to count. Counting is the rope it throws. I set the phone on the hallway runner, hit speaker, and pressed my heel on the edge so numbers couldn't stare me in the face. On the other side of the door, a glass rolled once and came to rest against something soft. Tried our mother's sigh and waited for me to admire it. I said nothing. The bathroom fan kept being a cheap ocean. My other self breathed with me so we could make a bad duet that wasn't a pattern. He said, there's a point where it stops being a room and tries to be a rule. That's when it will tell you what to do with numbers. It will ask you to say 3, or to name minutes, or to check a clock. Do not do any of that. If you need a thing to look at, watch the paint bubble above. The outlet. I stared until it became a continent. The refrigerator thumped again. A petulant foot. Something slid slowly across tile. A weight pretending to be a person. It stopped exactly where our left knee would be if we knelt to tie a shoe. From the speaker, my voice said, you'll feel a tilt. Like the floor wants to turn toward you. When it does, put your hand flat to the wall and say, not tonight, like you're refusing a salesman. You don't have to believe it. The wall does. What happens if I mess it up? I asked. You become the call, he said. The simplest cruelty I've ever heard. The spoon tapped again, lighter, like it was confirming attendance. The fridge clicked and stayed off, as if it had decided not to breathe in public. Then the tilt came, a small slide inside my knees. I pressed my palm to the paint and borrowed my landlord's favorite line. Not tonight, I said. Stubborn isn't brave, but sometimes it is the only faith available. The kitchen answered by becoming busy. Cabinets opened and shut in no order. Silverware slithered like rain down a gutter. A chair leg dragged once. The stove clicked twice, hunting for gas that wasn't there, and a third time for spite. On the rug, my phone vibrated like a small terrified animal and held the line open. You're doing well, my voice said, softer now. It will offer a trade next. It will say, if you open, I will stop, and it will mean it. Cannot stop without a witness. You do not have to be that. Right on cue, my cadence came through the door, friendly enough to be cruel. Open up, and I swear I'll be quiet forever. The word forever hit. The wood like a forehead. I pictured it bruising and pictured tomorrow. Do not bargain, he said. Let it make offers to itself until it gets bored of being generous. We waited. The waiting changed shape and started to feel ordinary. Traffic swam back into the city. A far siren threaded somewhere. Pipes weighed whether to complain. The door did not open because it was never a door. It was an instruction we were meant to obey, and tonight we did not. The fridge remembered its job and took up an honest hum. Air moved under the threshold like ordinary. Cold, not invitation. I let my hand fall from the wall and picked up the phone. Are you still there? I asked. I'm here, he said, and the echo between us softened into a room instead of a well. Did it work? I asked, needing to say it anyway. It worked enough, he said. I'm standing where you are, hungry for toast I won't make. I think we get to keep the morning. What now? I asked. Now you cover shiny things and sleep if sleep comes. Now you throw the breaker back with your eyes closed and refuse to. Stand in the doorway and admire your courage. Tomorrow, if the phone rings with your name again, let it ring until it gives up. If a note slides under the door, don't read it where it wants you to. Open it in the hall with your back to the kitchen, and if it says anything about forever, laugh. His voice thinned, not from distance, but from relief that had run out of task. How did you know to call? I asked. The way you will, he said. You'll learn the kitchen keeps a piece of what it fails to eat. A sound in your pocket that doesn't come from speakers, or a picture in your wet thumbprint that looks like a room scene from above. You'll hate it and then understand that hating is how you remember the rule. You'll call yourself at the minute that matters, and you'll sound tired, and it will be enough. We sat like that for a while, me against the wall, him in a hallway that might be ahead or beside. Eventually we both said okay at the same time. I flipped the kitchen breaker by feel, eyes closed. Light pushed under the door, like a shy animal. It did not ask for anything. I told the wall thank you, which is foolish and maybe correct. The call clicked once, twice, and left me with my own breath. I slept on the hallway rug until my shoulder hurt. In the morning I made coffee with the window open and the radio off. I ate toast I did not need. I did not stand in the doorway and admire anything. Near noon a flyer slid under the front door, cheap paper still smelling of toner. It said Community Safety Advisory, avoid reflective surfaces during intervals.